What's up, YouTube? This is Train Guy Mike, and I'm actually gonna do a review of my albums again. I'm not gonna go fast. I'm gonna do it honestly, and I'm gonna rate them my best to worst honestly. These other two videos, they were good, but they weren't my best. So here we go. I'm gonna start with whatever album I'll have, and I'll tell you about why I like them and why I don't. Led Zeppelin 3 is one of my favorite albums, and I like it because it shows how Led Zeppelin can play well with instrumentals, drums, and etc. Plus, John Bonham was good on this album on songs such as Immigrant Song, Out on the Tiles, and Celebration Day, one of my favorite Led Zeppelin songs, and I just think Bonham is a good drummer. Van Halen, The Very Best, Volume 1. I only have 4 favorite songs on here, and I have a reason why. I like Eruption because it's the intro, and it gets you moved, it gets you pumped, and it gets you ready for the album. I like Dance the Night Away. I mean, who doesn't? It's a good Van Halen song. It makes me happy sometimes it doesn't. Unchained is another good song of Van Halen. I'd recommend it. It's a very good song, very good drums. Jump, good song. Panama is probably the best Van Halen song out there. I think it's probably one of Van Halen's best drumming stuff, best guitar riffs. I'd recommend it. This is probably my second favorite acdc album, For Those Who About to Rock. And here's the reason why. Phil Rudd on the drums kicks ass on this album. And not many people know, but Phil Rudd has been known to do a little bit of clunker triplets here and there, but he's not well known for that. And the thing I like about Phil Rudd on this album, on songs such as Spellbound, COD, For Those About to Rock, and Breaking the Rules. Those songs are probably Phil Rudd's best drumming on the For Those About to Rock album. Give or take. This is one of my acdc compilation albums. Well, my only one is Iron Man 2. It comes with a DVD in it and a lot of pictures and all that, yeah. And it has basically your list of acdc's greatest songs, such as Suit to Thrill, Guns for Hire. I'll talk about that one on my next album. If You Want Blood, How Ain't a Bad Place to Be, and Razor's Edge. They're good songs. One of my albums I hate by acdc, Razor's Edge, and here's why. It's not the songs I don't hate, it's the way it was produced. And there was rumors that they could have brought Phil Rudd back for this album. They got Chris Slade. He's good and all, but he can't hit his hi-hat well when he's playing on this album. He's just too fast for acdc. Don't get me wrong, Chris Slade's a great drummer, but he's just not my acdc drummer. Overall, I have probably 6 songs I like on here. First one is obvious: Thunderstruck, Fire Guns, Money Talks, Razor's Edge, Got You by the Balls, and If You Dare. They're probably the only good songs on the album. The others I really don't like. I can't get into them. I listen to them and they bore me. There you go. My number 1 favorite album. I don't care what anybody says about Flicking the Switch. It is not overrated. It's underrated. It's probably their best album of the 80s, second to For Those About to Rock. And here's why. This was the last album, probably the last album in the 80s that Phil Rudd contributed to, because they kept Phil Rudd's drumming stuff on all these songs. And they had Simon Wright. There was rumors that they had B.J. Wilson come in to do the drum tracks, but that never went through, so they kept Phil Rudd on there. And they said after Phil left, Simon Wright came in, I think, 83 on the American tour, and Simon Wright played on the drums. I think he did well. But for me, I would have loved to see Phil play on that tour, and on that tour, it would have been good. But overall, this is probably their best album, and plus, this was the only album that acdc produced by themselves. And here's why. And they have good songs like Rising Power, Flick of the Switch, Landslide, Guns for Hire, Badlands, Brain Shake. All good songs. Probably the best drums for Phil on this album is probably Landslide, Flick of the Switch, and Badlands. Probably Phil's best drumming on that album. And this was my very first metal album, was Black Album. This is probably the only two Metallica albums I really hate. I don't know why I got the Black Album. I just thought it looked cool by the colors, but I mean, the songs are good, but they just don't get me energized. That's why I don't like the album. And my dad, and here's the Cars. I like the Cars. I don't listen to them much, but I have the Cars' greatest hits, and I like songs such as Just What I Needed, Drive, and Sometimes You Have to Be at Heartbeat City. That's all I'm saying. One of my all-time favorite acdc albums, High Voltage, probably their first album. Great album. And this is the only album where Phil Rudd used a Clash symbol. And it has songs such as Can I Sit Next to You Girl, which was actually sung by acdc's first original drummer, Dave Evans, if you probably don't know about him. And there's songs such as Shoes Got Balls, The Jack, Live Art, and if you don't know about The Jack, Phil Rudd did do a small triplet on The Jack if you listen to the song closely. One of my favorite rockers, Ronnie James Dio. Rock on, man. You're up there. Rock on. One of my favorite greatest hits album is probably my third greatest hits album I have is Dio. It's a good album, has good songs. There's about 4 songs I don't like, but that's on any album. And the songs I don't like is Sacred Heart, Rock and Roll Children, Dream Evil, Strange Highways, and The Last in Line. They're the only songs I don't like from Dio. AC/DC's best album of the 90s. It's probably better than Razor's Edge, Ball Breaker, when Phil Rudd returned on drums. This is probably their most bluesiest album. First to Stiff Upper Lip. Led Zeppelin 1. It's not my favorite Zeppelin album, but it is their first album. Rock or Bust, probably their best album of the 2000 era. First, probably their best album. Then I would rank Black Ice second to Rock or Bust. Back in Black, you don't need to know about Back in Black. Deep, very good album. Back in Black, recommend it. Highway to Hell, epic bone album. Epic songs like Night Prowler, Shot Down in Flames, Get It Hot, Beating Around the Bush, Touch Too Much, all good songs. In a discussion. Ozzy Osbourne, Blizzard of Oz. Iconic songs such as I Don't Know, Crazy Train, Goodbye to Romance, and D. Probably the only songs I like on the album. Now this is the all-time AC/DC album I really hate. Then Razor's Edge, Stiff Upper Lip. I do not like it. There's only about 4 good songs on there, and it's the first 4. The other songs suck. I love AC/DC. I love all their songs. It's the songs on the Stiff Upper Lip album I don't like more than the others. And I don't want to go into that. And the reason why is it's just not their best stuff. Brian Johnson's voice is probably not at his best on this album. Phil Rudd seems out of tune on the drums. Angus seems way out of tune. Malcolm is out of tune. Cliff is out of tune. They're not really playing the music. Fly on the Wall. Good album. Bad timing. It was good songs. I just don't think this album was popular enough with AC/DC. Fly on the Wall should get more credit. But it's not... The only problem I have, it's not Simon Wright's best drumming on AC/DC. I think that's the downfall. Metallica, my all-time favorite Metallica album, Load. I love it. I love songs such as 2x4, Ain't My Bitch, and Hero of the Day, and Until It Sleeps. Good songs. Powerage, my all-time favorite AC/DC album. Love it. Won't get rid of it. Love it. Won't get rid of it. Good songs. My very first AC/DC album, Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. Love it. It could have been done better, but I love it anyway. Kiss, Slashes, Thrashes, Bashes. Greatest compilation of Kiss. I don't like Kiss, but I got it anyway. Led Zeppelin Mothership. Very good album. Pink Floyd Division Bell. Very good album. I like it, but it's not my Pink Floyd style album. acdc Live. I have Live at Donington, but I can't find it, but I have it somewheres. So, it'll show up. But it's probably not their best live album. It's an okay album. This is their best live album. If you want Blood Live, this was my second acdc album. And, I mean, it kicks ass. It's a good album. Iron Maiden, Number of the Beast. Epic album. I love Iron Maiden. I'm a huge fan now. I have 2 albums, which second album, the first CD Iron Maiden I had was Somewhere Back in Time, the best of 83 and the 80s. Good album. This is my official Iron Maiden album. Good album. Love it. Probably Metallica's worst album, my opinion. Others may disagree. I just don't like the stuff on Master of the Puppets. There's only 2 songs I like. Master of the Puppets, Disposable Heroes are the only 2 good songs on the album. AC/DC's third worst album, Black Ice. The reason why? Poor timing. I didn't like the album. I liked the songs. I didn't like the album whole. It didn't seem AC/DC-like. Led Zeppelin 2, my all-time favorite Led Zeppelin album. Moby Dick. John Bonham's drum solo, Moby Dick. Good album. Another one of Kiss's compilation albums. Kiss, the Millennium Collection. This is the only real Kiss album I like. It's just good. My 4th best AC/DC album, Blow Up Your Video. Recommend it, highly recommend it. Good album, good songs, good drums. Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd's second best album to Another Brick in the Wall. Probably more popular is The Dark Side of the Moon. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned, I might get more CDs soon. Bye-bye.